Creating a responsive website design is so painful, and today I'm gonna show you how you can easily do it with a Tailwindcss. So this is a simple website we're gonna create with Tailwindcss. As you see, we have a header, and now also we have a hero section in the banner image gallery, and then also we have a footer. Now this website looks very simple, but it's highly responsive. If we just go through the small devices, as you see how this menu bar is showing. So first of all, let's explore how it can be. So it's a home, features and not found pages. Just to go a bit of designing parameter for the Next.js, you see you can now go back to home, and in the tab you see you have the particular pages design, how cool it is, and also for the Tailwind design section. And don't worry, these all the tabs we're gonna create one by one, but today our main focus is to create that responsive header, that very beautiful hero section, and also the footer. Then all the part we will create one by one, because this will be a playlist for the Tailwind or responsive design parameter, and you're gonna learn each and everything one by one. So also if we go back to the responsiveness, as you see for small devices, and it's also if you just pull back, you see how cool the responsiveness, how smooth the transitioning. So these things we're gonna create from the scratch, and I'm gonna show you how you can implement that one by one. And to make the things from beginning till end, we're gonna use the Tailwindcss to create this unique design. And for my today's build, I will use the Next.js. Maybe you will no need to use the Next.js. You can use the simple CSS, simple HTML framework or the Vite, because what I'm planning to do is that to create all of this platform, bring it at your arsenal, because these things gonna become one by one. Today, as you see, is coming with the header section, hero sections, and also for the footer sections. And the next part, maybe one of that it will come, it will appear. And as you know, I love to share the free code, so it will be for you if you stay with me. We're gonna create, and don't forget to like and subscribe my channel if it's helping you. Okay, and to start with, as I always like to do, is to take an empty folder. That is the best place where we can start. And now I will open my terminal. Okay, so from the terminal, you see there is a code here. I can just copy that one, paste it here. Again, I'm saying you may not need to use the Next.js, but for me, because it will be a combined project, so that I'm using the Next.js. So now here I will make that Tailwindcss, make practice. Okay, so that will be my core project. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just close that. Yeah, I will use the TypeScript because it will be a lengthy process, and it's a big project, it would be, and it will grow slowly. So I will use the TypeScript. Yes, lint Tailwindcss. And now here is the very very crazy point, is that whenever you're using Next.js, it will by default configure all the Tailwind configuration. But if you are just missing that, don't worry, I already carry you on that, because you'll find it video link in the description, where I already showed in a various platform how you can configure the Tailwindcss. And okay, source directory, app router, of course, that's it. So now it will install all the different dependencies to create my Next.js project. Installation is done. So now what I will do, I will just ls to see the project is here. I will just go inside with that project, or you can just open from the folder link. So, and then I will open it in my code editor. And to just go with it, it's just a simple Next.js application. And what I will do is that open my terminal from here, and I will take my git bash. Okay, and to the first parameter, I will just run that npm run dev to start that application in localhost 3000. So let's go back to the browser, and I will open it in localhost 3000. And the first thing first, as you see, the global CSS is already here, and also the Tailwind CSS is already configured for me, so no need to do anything beforehand or afterwards. But first thing first, I will clean up my application, because I'm no longer needing those things. So what I will do, remove everything in the main, and I will take a new main tag. I will take a p tag, which going to say is Tailwindcss practice. Okay, and also this next image not required here. So now once you are installing that one, of course by default you will get some of the class names which is going to be appear from the global CSS. I recommend you to just remove that one, and you will just get it for the Next.js, because you are just getting a demo configuration here. So now as you see, that's my fresh project. So what I'm gonna do, in the source folder I will take a folder which the name it will be components. Here I will keep my header and other parameter. So first thing first, let's just see how actually we're gonna create. We'll just make a demonstration. So to do that one, first we're gonna create this header portion. So this will be our header, and within that header we will have a 3 portion. One will be for the logo, another will be for the link parameter, and then we have the contact format. And then we will create that hero section, where upon we will create the other parameter of that particular scenario, which are going to be our footer section. Okay, so let's go to do the first thing first, is that we will create the header first. And to implement the header, you see the components here. I will take a new file. I will give that name as header.tsx. if you're using the simple JX, just put the extension at JS or JSX. No, not to worry about that. So I will just create a React a simple snippet with array_fce, and it will just create that a function for that. And if you are going to use that one, don't forget to implement or install that one for the ES7 React Native snippet. So that's the tool you need to install. That's the extension actually. And also do install for the Tailwindcss IntelliSense. Otherwise you will not get that a prediction what I'm coding, what I'm getting right now. Okay, so that's the header. And this header, because I want the header to be accessible in all the files and for all the pages, right? So what I'm gonna do, I will just go back to my layout, and here before the children I will pass the header, and as you will see that right now this header will be available. Okay, and also I will do one more thing, is that I will just change the title. You see in the description where actually is written here the create next app, I'm gonna change that description from there. So to do that one, I will just replace that title and description with my title and descriptions. And it's a very handy because of that metadata. While we are going to implement that one for the SEO purposes, this will be very helpful. As you see, it's the advanced Tailwind CSS learning, and also whenever you're going to open the inspect, you're going to see the description is appearing, which can also giving a mark bench while you are doing the SEO. So now in the header we will have a lot of work. So how actually we're going to combine the header? First, instead of the div, I will take a header tag again. That will be very helpful once you're doing the SEO. Okay, so this is the header tag, and in the header tag I'm gonna use the navvar. Okay, on the navvar I will have a three things, which one going to be logo, another going to be link, like link list, and another going to be, which is that the last one, contact me button. So these three things I will implement here alongside how actually those things is appearing. So first thing first, because what I'm gonna do is to get the images, right? So to get the images, I will just drag my previous folder where actually I keep all the images, not that much, just 2 images here for the Tailwind CSS. So these 2 images I'm gonna use here right now. So first I'm gonna put that images. Okay, so what I will do is that import logo from, of course, and it will be images, and it will be Tailwind logo. Okay, so now in the navbar I'm gonna put my logo first, just to show you how actually this thing is working. So first I will bring my image and I will import from the next image. If you're not using the next application, then you just need to get normal image tag and it will work also. So let's give the source. The source is going to be my logo, which I have, and for the alternative tag I will put also the logo, so I will know which tag is which images is missing. So now for that one, I'll give a height of 16 and width I'll give auto, so it will just put the aspect ratio, and scale it will be a 90. Okay, so it will be a little bit smaller, and whenever I'm gonna hover, the scale it should be 105, and I will put a duration to give a smooth transitioning while I'm doing that scale. Okay, so I'm gonna shrink it a bit, and also let's go back here. That is already here, but I can't see that because my header is not appearing. Put a class name bg, it's going to be gray of 950, depends on you how you prefer. And if you have any doubt that what I'm typing here bg gray, what kind of these things is happening, just hover over it. You see background color, hover over it. You see what actually the CSS, the Tailwind is actually minimizing the writing which we are doing, is minimizing that, and now you can explore a bit by just hovering. Don't forget to install the Tailwind CSS IntelliSense, otherwise it may not work. Okay, so now we'll give a background of that. As you see, that's already here, and also we will give a default text which going to be text gray of 200, and we will make our header sticky. Top it will be 0 and Z going to be 40, so it will always stick on the top. If you see it here, you see it's remaining on the top always. So that's the what we are going to create. Now in the navbar, what I'm gonna do, I'm also gonna put a class name. It will be mx auto to keep in the middle, and max width I'm gonna put a 7 axle. And how much is the 7 axle? As you see, it's 18 RAM or 1280 pixel, or you can put that max width screen to axle, that's the same parameter. And now I will make it a flex item center, justify between, because 3 portion it will be separated from each one. Okay, and height I'm gonna give it 20 of height, and padding X going to give a 4, and LG padding X going to be 8. Now you can just go through with each and every class name while I'm doing that, then you can explore a bit, and you will see it's make a lot of sense when you are actually typing with that. And I'm not saying just follow me and type. What I'm saying, just see and learn what I'm doing, then try it by yourself. With that you can actually learn. So now this is my image tag, and also I need a parameter which actually going to be create a link with that image. And actually what is for, now if I put a href, whenever I'm gonna click on that image, it should redirect me on my home page. Okay, so let's just put a class name. So I'm gonna, or I'll just keep that class name as it is, we'll see later on. So now what I need to do to create, to implement those lists, okay, I need to create that 5 things. And to implement that one, first thing first, I need to get 2 array which I already created. I'm just gonna to popping up here. So what I will do in the top layer, now you can keep that in any of the files. If you are watching my video beforehand, as you see, I always love to do it to keep that one in a constant folder, in index file, from where all the static file I'm just getting. So here what I'm doing, just putting a section of designs and putting a page designs, just to go with a minimal way. And also you can do that one, just a simple array of objects where actually have 2 value. One is the name, or you can put a title, and then one is the href to get the reference actually where I'm gonna redirect my link. So now the good things going to work. So here I need to create that link list. Now here of course we are not going to do in a simple list way, because we're gonna use the Tailwind CSS. So we're gonna use that pop over. Okay, so it will be pop over. Now what actually we need to get to install to use that pop over, remember, if you are actually using the Tailwind CSS, there is one of the best thing is that headless UI React. If you just search in Google, you see that is the page actually we're going to use right now. So there is the menu and other parameter. It's actually very good to use. You see there is the motion is happening and other things is happening, so you can explore a lot while coming over here. But of course, I'm gonna do it right now, so no time for just to explore. So I'm gonna show you actually what you need to do. And to install that one, simply run that command npm I, that's it. So it will install that dependency, and I'm gonna just grab those things what I'm gonna use from that dependency. I'm gonna use some of the things that dialog, disclosure, pop over, transition. So first thing first, I'm gonna also use the state, and whenever you are using the next JS, you cannot use that use state and other parameter in the simple because by default all are in server side render. So you need to create that file as a client side, then you can only use the client side libraries, right? So I'm gonna make that use client, and if you're not using the Next.js, you're fine, no need to do that simple trick. So now what I need to implement that, I will use that pop over group to create that all the parameters. So it will be pop over dot group. Okay, so inside that pop over group, I will create a link, and within that link I will just pass that as home. Okay, so the first one, the href, going to be home. Okay, let's see actually what is happening in our website. Okay, where we are, undefined value. What is the undefined? You see the home is appearing here. So before going to create the other parameter like the other portion, I will just keep that button here so that it will show in the middle and it will be look so nice. Okay, so the contact button, it will appear here, and that one it will be keeping in a link. Okay, link, and then I'm gonna pass that as contact me. So actually how this link is working, this link is just an anchor tag. Normally if you're putting an anchor tag in your application, that's what actually is doing, but it's a more combined way, because Next.js is configured is a pretty much good way so that it can be also helpful. And also you can use the a tag instead of that link, so no need to worry for that. So now our that thing is done. So as you see that contact me. Okay, so in the contact me also I will put an icon, so I will just keep a span tag. Okay, span tag, and that I will just put a normal icon which we used to do with a binary format. You see that icon is here. So now what I will do is that I will make that area area hidden, not area, it will be area hidden, which is going to be true. Okay, so now link is fine. So in the div, okay, in the div, let's put a class name. By default it's going to be hidden. Only LG screen is going to be flex, and LG or just I'm gonna keep a flex because other things is fine. So you see we are already making it responsive, right? So so responsiveness we already is working with that, so don't worry, because whenever we're gonna create those parameters, we'll go hand to hand with responsiveness. Okay, so now what actually we need to do is to create more clarification with that. For a class name, which is going to be text, going to be sm, font we will make as a semi bold, and we're going to give a leading of 6. Okay, leading of 6, and whenever we are hover, text going to be till of 200, and a little bit smooth transitioning of 200, and whenever we're gonna focus visible outline. Okay, focus visible, why it's not giving suggestion, focus visible outline should be none. I don't want to see any outline here. Okay, so now as you see, okay, cool, our transitioning is happening. So now this two part is done. So what I need to do to worry about the middle part? So what I'm gonna do, in the link I will inject some of the class name, and that class name actually I will not put it here because those class name going to be same of the 3 other class name, because there will be 3 more tag. One it will be features, and another it will be not found. So the feature home it will go there, and features it will go to the features, and it will just, I will just keep that one as unknown because we're gonna show a not found page. And for that pop over group I need to put some design parameter, so it will be class name, and by default it's going to be hidden. LG it will be flex, and LG the gap in x parameter it's going to be 12, so that's the gap. Now To implement that class name here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write a global class name. Okay, and how you can write the global class name, you just need to go to the globals.css, and then you need to return the parameter actually where you are going to implement that global class names. Of course, I will go in the layer, and that layer, it will be the based on components, and here I will just put that header list. That's the class name I'm providing. And what I'm gonna say, I want to apply. Now you just need to simply type your class name, text sm. Remember, we already typed, and font semi-bold. It will be semi-bold. Okay, and leading going to be 6, and hover text going to be till of 200, and then duration of 200, and hover. Okay, what is that? Focus within outline would be none. Now, if you may remember, that's the same class name we used somewhere, and that is in the button here. Okay, if you remember that we used the same class name here, first thing first, let's test here. I will just put that. You see, the same thing is working just fine. So what actually we can do, we can also implement those class name here. Okay, so what I will do right now, I'll just go here, 1 2 3, put the flag of class name and paste it. Done. As you see, okay, now it's hovering. So now if you want, you can make that text bigger, because that's actually switched for me, so I'm not gonna make that bigger. So these two things is done. Right now is to the another fundamental things to create that scenario, and how actually we can do. Let's go, we'll do it simply. So here, after that particular link, I will go with that popover. So it will be a simple popover, and inside that popover, I will make that popover dot button, and within that button, I will give that title pages designs. Okay, pages designs. So now what I will do, I will just go with some of the hero icons, because the hero icons actually giving a good compatibility with that. And of course, you can go with also some other icon, because I will implement two things. npm I, one will be my hero icons React, and another, which actually I always love to use, is that React icons, because that's pretty convenient and it's very simple to use. Okay, in most of my videos, I'm just using that React icons. That's one of my favorite library. Very simple to use and no mumbo jumbo. It's just simply the configuration, and then you just use it. Okay, so after that, I will also install that one, because maybe I will use in some part, especially in the footer. So now, because as we install the hero icon, so what I'm gonna do, I need to get some of the hero icons. So I will just import, I'll import in my top level. The icons I'm gonna use is that one is the bar icon, one is the cross mark icon, and one is the chevron down icon. So that's the three icon I'm gonna use. So right now I have my pages design here. If I save, you're gonna see that's already appear. So after that pages design, so now be careful when I'm doing that. Be stick with me and do the same parameter with the same part, otherwise it will break for you. Okay, then you will cry that why it's not working. So be careful and put concentration. So it will be I think chevron down icon. Okay, I will just copy that name. I don't want to type. Okay, and for that icon, I will put some class name, which is going to be, I'm going to give a height of 5, width of 5, and flex, it will be none. Okay, so let's see if it's available. You see, that's actually there. And what I'm gonna do in that pop-over button, put a class name. Remember, we have that class name, which actually we are putting, which is that header list. So that's the class name we have. Then we can also put some of the more class name if we want, which actually going to be flex item center, and then gap in X going to be 1. So you see, that's just working. So now what actually we need to do, once we click, we need to get something. And what actually we need to create one of the transitioning whenever the pop over button is clicked. So here we're gonna get that transition. Okay, so in the transition, what actually we want to implement, we want to get a pop over. So it will be I think pop over dot panel. Yeah, we will get the panel. So in the panel, what actually we are going to implement, remember we have one array of pages data. That's the pages designs data. We're gonna map through it. And to map that one, as we are injecting JavaScript in the JSX platform, we need to give the JavaScript syntax, the arrow, the curly braces. Then we're gonna go with that pages design, and we're gonna map through it. Okay, we're gonna map, and we're gonna return a simple item. Okay, and we're gonna inline return that one. And here I'm gonna just generate a link, simple. And within the link, what actually I'm gonna type is that item dot name. So it will give me the item dot name, and the key is also going to be item dot name. You can pass a ID, or you can do as the way you prefer. And the href, it will be item dot link. So I always love to do that null check, especially in the TypeScript, so it will give me a fallback definition if it's actually falling back on that. Okay, let's save, and let's see, not the link actually, what we keep that one name, href. Okay, so it's my bad, it will be href. Okay, so now if we click right now, what actually going to happen, you see, actually it's there. If we click, that things is here, but it's not showing it properly. So what I'm gonna do is that to make some extreme design. So let's go in that pop over panel. Here I'm put a class name. Okay, and first thing first, I'm gonna make it absolute, and minus left going to be 8. Okay, and from the top I'm gonna give a full top, and z going to be 10. And now for the minus top, let's put 3, and width I'm gonna give a 56 of width, rounded XL. Okay, now that depends on you, you can put as the way you like. Background should be white, padding going to be 2, and shadow going to be LG, the larger shadow. And ring, I will put a 1 of ring, and ring gray of 900, and of course I'll give a 5% of opacity. Now if I put, you see, that's already here, but actually it should be like here, right? So it's there somewhere, but it's not the way we are preferring. So what we need to do, let's go in the top layer on the transition, not the transition in the pop over, because we need to make it as class name, which we need to make it as relative. Now you see it's coming here, so that things is appearing here. Now we need to make some design parameter. So let's go back in the header, class name. Now here we're gonna create some new design, so we will make it as block, rounded LG. Okay, and padding X going to be 3, padding Y it should be 2, and text again is small text. Now depends on your preference, what's the text you want to keep alike. Font going to be semi-bold. You can actually copy paste the previous design, but I'll just keep that. And text gray of 900. Okay, and also Huber BJ gray of 200. Okay, now let's see. You see, okay, that simple design parameter is now okay, it's cool. Now what actually you want, we need to define what kind of transition we are using. So we are using it as a fragment. Okay, fragment, we need to import it from the React, otherwise you get a bunch of error. So don't forget to import it from the React. So we are using that, what's the balance? Okay, we'll use that also. So we are going to use that as fragment, and we're gonna make some of the transition. So you can write that one down. So I'll just keep it here because it's all a bunch of class name we are providing. So we're gonna enter with the transition easy out, duration will be 200, enter from 0 to 1, which is going to be, it will enter from a 0% opacity to 100% opacity, and the translate, you see, it will come from the top. Yeah, you see, it just appearing and giving a little bit a shadowy effect. That's it. So we are declaring what kind of transition it's going to be append, and how actually it will in and how it will out. Okay, so that's the one parameter, and within the the same body with the same props and parameters, I will just generate my other one, which actually going to be with that section designs. That's it. It's the same parameter, just declaring the new one with a separate title. Now you see Tailwind design. Okay, this is very cool. If we go with the smaller devices, okay, we cannot see, but we must to see one icon here, right? So let's to append that one. You see we have a contact button. So after that contact button, below, before finishing that snap, so of course that's the contact button and that's my div, and before finishing that particular div, okay, so that's the navbar, I'm gonna take another div, and that div is going to be for small menu bar. Okay, so that will be for my small menu bar. And how actually I'm going to implement, again I'm going to take a div here, I'm going to get a button. So that button going to take a span tag which going to say open main menu, but I don't want to show it. Okay, what actually why I'm using it, we're gonna just put that screen reader only, so screen can actually read that one. It can be helpful when there's a lot of purposes for that one, so you can just search Google why actually is using. So it will be burst icon 3, and here put a class name. Oops, it will be class name, and height going to be 7, and I will give a same width going to be 7. Okay, height is 7, and also I'll put one more, that one is area hidden, which going to be true. Okay, so that's the button area, it will be appear. Now is we can see that one, but we should not see that. So what we're gonna implement is that put a class name, so we're gonna put it as a flex, and LG it going to be hidden. Okay, so we will not see it in the larger devices. So now if we just shrink it down here, as you see it just appearing. So now in the button layer we will just make some class name. In the class name it will be -m, like a margin, we're gonna just put 2.5, and also inline flex. Okay, inline flex and item center, justify center. It just thinks it will, if you're not putting that, it will also work around that MD. Like if you want to put some more items within it, it will work on that way. Padding it will be 2.5, and then text going to be gray of 200, and gray of 200, and hover text going to be till of 200, and duration also I'm gonna inject as 200. Okay, as you see that's giving a very nice and soothing effect. Now here I need to get an state, and what kind of state, because whenever I click I need to implement something. As you see, once I click, this menu is appearing, so I need to implement that menu. And to implement that one, I need to get a state which going to be mobile menu open, and it will be set mobile menu open. And of course we will use that use state hook, and by default it's going to be false. And when it's going to be true, once we are going to click on that, only that time we will keep it as true. So this button, so the type it will be, oops, it will be type, and that type it will be button type. And whenever we're gonna on click on that, we're gonna trigger an event which going to be set mobile menu, which actually going to be true. Now you can make a console.log and you will find that is appearing, so I'm not gonna waste my time with that. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna just comment that what actually we're gonna create. So it will start here and it will end here. So here we're gonna inject our mobile navigation menu. And to make that one, again, let's see what actually we're going to implement. We are going to just open a dialog box. Okay, so that's the box we are going to just create that one. Once you click, the other things it's gonna just work same like before. Okay, so let's go over here, and of course here we're gonna put that dialog. Okay, so it will be dialog, and within the dialog I'm gonna keep a div, and within the div I'm gonna keep a dialog, and the first thing it will be go that we're gonna use that panel, dialog panel. So in the panel, I'm gonna put a div, and within that div, first thing first, I'm gonna get a link tag, and here inside that I'm gonna get an image. So now here in the dialog, we need to put some parameter we're gonna use as a div, and also the class name. We're gonna make that class name that whenever it gonna hit in the LG screen, it will be hidden, and when it will be open once that mobile menu open is available, and on close it will be on close. Yeah, it will be set mobile menu. Okay, that's it. So it will just set mobile menu on that. So in the link parameter, I'm gonna put an href which is going to be in home. So now we need to put one image for my this menu, which actually going to be my this image. It's a separate image. So let's go in the top, and here I'll just keep a name so we can understand. So that's the one image here. So I will just get import, and it will be logo text from the same parameter images, and you see the logo text. So that's the logo I'm gonna use right now. And to implement that, here I'm gonna put in the source, it will be this menu, sorry, this image. So now also I need to tell what kind of class name I will provide, and of course alter type, it will be logo text, and the class name, what I will do is that I'm gonna put it as height of 16, and width the same like before, width going to be auto. Okay, you see that's actually appearing, but it's not happening the way it's supposed to be, because as you may see here, you see that looks perfect. So from this we need to make this. Okay, so let's go in the div. So first thing first, in the top layer of the div, put a class name. I will make it as fixed, and in set going to be 0. You're gonna give a z of 10. Okay, you click, yeah, it will appear, but don't worry, we're gonna fix that. And now in the dialog panel, what kind of dialog panel you want? Put a class name. Now it depends what kind of class name you are providing. It's all are happening with the class name. Again, we're gonna make it as fixed, and in set y going to be a 0. Right, I'm gonna give 0. Width, I'll give a full width. Okay, so overflow y should be auto. Yeah, and bj gray of 950 to give a background, and text will be gray of 200. And don't worry, that will take by default because we give in top level. Or did we give that in the header? Let's just see. Yeah, we give it in the header, so it will just get back here. Okay, so now as we provided that basic gray of 950, padding x-axis going to be 6, or I'm gonna give a padding of 6 because the both axis going to be 6, and sm max width going to be small. So in the small screen, the max width also going to be small. Sm the ring going to be small screen, the ring will be 1, and sm ring okay, sm ring will be 900 with 10% of opacity. Ring, what color actually we're gonna provide? Not the red, it will be gray of 10%. And z going to be give 50. Remember, in the top we are giving a 10%, 40%. Here we're gonna keep 50. You see, now actually it's appearing. For that reason we are implementing that. Okay, so now here in that particular div, what I'm gonna do, because we're gonna have a div, let's see. Yeah, we are having a div, but we can't see the image. What's wrong with the image? Okay, that's the image actually appearing. Did we miss something? Okay, that's the div. Okay, and height 16, width auto we provided. Okay, what kind of z index we have been provided? Okay, we have been provided the z index of 40. Okay, it should work, don't worry, we're gonna go. Okay, is it working here? Okay, we're gonna keep that working. Okay, right now we also need to have one icon. Okay, let's just go down a bit. Okay, here. So after that link parameter, we're gonna get a button here. So in the button, we're gonna put a span tag, and also you're gonna put that it should be for the close menu, and of course we need to put a class name which going to be for screen reader only, so that that text it not be visible in real time. Okay, only. So now here we're gonna make that X mark icon, and that icon of course going to be from that React Hero icons which I installed in top layer. So height going to be 6, width going to be 6. Okay, and also area hidden should be true. Okay, if we click, now we cannot see any of the icon. Actually, I think we maybe miss some of the class name. We make that fixed. We can simply do one thing, is that instead of keeping that 150, I'm gonna just remove that. In the top layer, I'm gonna make it 50. Let's see. Okay, now we can see that. Okay, now we can see everything. I think it's cool. And what actually we need to do is that in the div over here, so I'm gonna make a class name here, which going to be flex item center and justify going to be between. Okay, so also I think I need to provide that as Z50, as I cannot see my icon. Where is my close icon? Okay, just let me get that. Okay, so what I will do is that put a type here which going to be button, and also put some class name. So minus, it will be margin going to be 2.5, and rounded MD, and padding going to be 2.5. Let's see if it's appearing. It should appear. I think we can do one more thing, is that instead of just going through, we'll just make the text as white. Okay, let's see if we can see that. Okay, as you see, it's appear. So now also we can do one more thing. Whenever we hover, text going to be red of 500, give a duration of 200. Okay, cool. So now what we're gonna define here, whenever we're gonna click on that, again we're going to run an event, and that event going to be said that set mobile menu going to be false. Okay, so now if we click, and if we click, it just gone. And also if we just roll back to a smaller screen, you see it's taking together. So now our menu pattern is done. So now we need to pouring the other things which going to be available here. So now after that button, we're gonna take one more div, and here we're gonna take another div, and then we're gonna take one more div. Here I'm gonna put that link icon, and here what I'm gonna do, put that home tag. Okay, and of course we need to provide that href, otherwise it will not work. So I will do one, then you can go with other thing also. So as you see, it should appear somewhere. So I need to put some classification for that. So let's go, class name, margin top going to be 6, and flow, it will flow from the root. Okay, so that's the one parameter, and then the other parameter in that div, put some class name which going to be minus my, which going to be 6, and then divide y should be okay, just put a divide y, and divide going to be gray of 100 with 20% of the opacity. And now in here put a class name, space should be in y, and it going to be 2, and padding y going to be 6. Okay, so now there's one more thing need to be clarified. Put some class name which going to be minus okay, what I did wrong. Okay, this class name should be appearing here in this side. Put some class name going to be minus margin and x-axis going to be 3, and of course we're gonna make it block rounded LG, and then padding x going to be 3, padding y going to be 2, and text going to be the base text, not the balance, it will be base. And then hover bj gray of 800. Okay, and hover text going to be white, and then I also keep a duration of 200. Okay, let's see if we can see that text is appearing here, but we should see that one like that. So now actually we need to give that text color. So it should actually take, by default we are giving that some color. So the text going to be gray of 200. Sometimes it's just getting crazy. Okay, you see the same parameter. Of course, we can do one more thing, is that we can make that one as semi-bold. So we can actually make that font going to be semi-bold. Okay. Okay, now it's cool. So what I'm gonna do, and also I need to implement one more thing, because once I click, it should go through my link, and also we need to click on one click even. Either you can keep, sometimes because it's not always working that fast. So what I will do, I will just manually make that one as false. So that's the two links. So I will just eradicate the other two more, which one it will be for the features and another it will be for the not found link. So that's the three links right now here. As you see, that looks good. If we just go back to the features, you see the feature page, of course it will not be available, you'll get a 404, so don't worry about it. So now after that, I need to implement these 2 and 3 portions. So now how actually I can get that one? So after the link, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a disclosure. So it will be this disclosure, and in the disclosure I need to pass some of the parameters, and I need to say what actually is gonna happen once the disclosure is open. So let's put a curly braces here, and then the first parameter which actually going to work as a return, and then I will say whenever it open I need to inject that. So let's just make that an inline return. So in the return I will just put an empty braces, and here I'm gonna pass a disclosure. So it will be a disclosure dot button. Okay, so it will be a disclosure button. First it will be the pages designs. Okay, so that's the first parameter we're gonna implement. As you see, the pages designs is available, and here what I'm gonna do is that we're gonna use that shiver and down icon. So we're gonna just popping that icon here. Okay, that's the icon. The class name we are just rotating in 180, and we're giving that height width. So whenever it's open, so you see the class names we are implementing here, it's actually going to be combining with the class name. So we just need to pass the value, actually what kind of class name value we're gonna eradicate here. And how actually you're gonna do that, in the top layer of that we can actually declare a function here, or I'll just do it here. So it will be we'll just keep a name of the function. We can make a class name also if we want. So it will be function name, we're gonna put that as class names, and it will take the classes. Okay, and now for right now I'm gonna keep it as any. So and I'm gonna return with that classes, I think, yeah, classes dot filter. And what I'm gonna filter, boolean value it will be, and I'm gonna just join. So now I don't want to explain a lot more with that, because normally I'm not using this portion. What actually I love to use that to use with the CLSX. That's actually pretty beautiful to use in that kind of paradigm. So after happening to implement that one, we need to go through, put some class names to implement those logics. Actually what actually we're gonna implement, as you see that we're just rotating that one. So right now it's here. So if we put the class name, that rotating should be so it will just go in the other level. So now here in the disclosure button we need to put some class names. So that's our disclosure. Where is the disclosure? Yeah, that's the disclosure, and that's the disclosure button. So in the disclosure we need to say that how actually you're gonna use. We're gonna use as a div, and also class name I'm gonna put that minus margin in x-axis going to be, just keep it as 3. Okay, Yeah, I think 3. Okay, so now also put some class name here, and here we're gonna make a flex width going to be full width, and item center justify between, and rounded should be LG, and then padding Y going to be 2, padding left going to be 3. Actually this padding left is not required. If I okay, keep it that way. Padding right going to be 3.5. okay, and then text going to be base, font going to be semi bold, and also leading going to be 7, and then hover bj going to be gray up 800. okay, and hover text going to be white, and duration I'll have to put it as 200. okay, as you see, that's cool. So once we click, something needs to be appearing. okay, so now actually how we can make these things to appear, that's also coming with a simple logic. Remember the disclosure button. So after that button, we're gonna open that disclosure. I think that is, it will be disclosure.panel. yeah, that's we need to implement. And here we're gonna make that pages designs.map. we're gonna map with that item and inline return, where actually we're gonna make that disclosure dot, just we're gonna return another button, and here we're gonna put that item dot name, and in the disclosure we need to put that key, which going to be also item dot name, and we're gonna put it as a anchor tag. okay, and also href, because as is coming anchor, you can just also define is as a href, so no need to be worried about that. Item.href, I'm just keeping all the scenario in case you are not using the Next.js also. So the class name, it should be block, oops, it should be like that, block, and rounded going to be LG, and then padding Y going to be 2, padding left going to be 6. okay, padding left going to be 6, and also padding right going to be 3, font going to be semi bold, and leading going to be 7. Almost the all class name we're using like continuously. So hover bj going to be gray of 800, and hover text going to be white, and duration of 200. okay, let's see. okay, that's cool. If we just go here, you see, okay, cool, looks cool. okay, so let's go to the home page and click again. So that's the one. So we need one more. Remember how we did that beforehand. So as we did one, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just copy the other one, because that's the same parameter we are going to use. So that's my disclosure button. So I will just shrink that, and I will just put that with my section designs. So now if we just click, as you see, I have 1, I have 2. So now 1, I have the disclosure, both disclosure I have in my arsenal. So now after the disclosure on that particular div, I'm gonna take another div, and here I'm gonna take one more link, and which link going to be generate is that contact me. And in the span tag, remember we already used one, oops, it will be, okay, I was wrong what I did. okay, it will be span tag, and here we're gonna use one. You can use the icon, I will just put that one, is simple to use. okay, and the href going to be, it will just take me to contact me page, and here I will put some class name. okay, and again it should be the class name of a predefined way, so it's the class name in the same which we used in the top layer, so I will not waste time to get those things. okay, put that class name. okay, so now you just can see that one is appearing, so that's the contact me. So these three, I think that makes sense. So now if we go in the rollback on the top layer, okay, that's working fine, that's working very good. And if we go back here, okay, that looks so cool. So with that, we are finishing our header. So now what actually we need to do to create that hero image. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll keep another file which is to be written that hero image.tsx rafce to create that hero image component. And of course we need to import that one here. So I'm gonna remove that one and I'll put that hero image. Okay, don't forget to import that. As you see, hero image is imported. So now here I'm gonna, first thing first, I'm gonna take a files array where actually I'm gonna having all my array for that hero image. So I'll just gonna paste that. Now you can go through, it's all are coming from the free pick, so you can put your own image link. I'm just giving a title, giving a size. It's just a demo site just to show in case how the image going to be. You can just toggle through any of the free images parameter, then just get the source. Either you can download the image, then you can also put that image. So in both way it can save your purpose. So that's the array I'm gonna use to get my images. So remember, I have three key: title, sizes, and source. So I will just shrink that. And now here in the div, I'm gonna take an UL which going to be in a role. I'm gonna put it as a list. So inside that UL, I'm gonna just combine, I'm gonna make that files.map. Okay, just put a question mark. Okay, files.map. So we'll take the file and now I'm gonna return that. So I'm gonna return with a li key, and then I'm gonna put a div here. Then I will just use a normal HTML image tag. You can use the Next.js tag if you're using the Next.js, because right now I'm already showing so many things with the Next.js. So right now I will not go with the Next.js image tag. If you're using any other, you will feel free to use that. And otherwise, if you are also going to use the Next.js, let me know in the comments below, then I will tell you what actually you need to keep in the next config file to let that things working perfectly in your application. Okay, so the source folder, it will be that file dot source, of course, and of course we need to give the key, and that key it will be file. What can be the similar, not the similar, can source can be different. And of course I will just predefine one class name which going to be relative. So it will be that file image, and I'm gonna put some class name here for the image to show. So it will be the pointer events. I'm gonna put it pointer events as none, and then I'm gonna make that object as cover, and also I'm gonna make that group hover opacity of 75. Okay, so that's pretty much for my image. Now you see that image is getting so much bigger. So what I'm gonna do, let's just go one by one from the top layer. Class name, it will be max weight, which going to be before we use the 7 axle, so we can use that screen to axle or 2 axle. How much is the axle? Yeah, same of the 7 axle. So mx auto to keep everything in the middle. Padding y should be 10 and padding x axis going to be 4. Okay, you see the image is coming like that. So now in that UL, put some class name. I'll make it grid. So first grid calls of 2 it will appear, and then gap in x axis going to be 4, and then gap in y should be 8, and also sm grid should be calls of 3. Okay, and for the lg grid calls of 4. Now in the axle devices, the gap should be in x axis going to be 8. Okay, so you see, looks cool because now actually that things is working. So now what actually we need to do to make that things work perfectly, we need to go through with that list parameter, or not the list, with that div parameter in the top of the positioning here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make it a group. Okay, so as we make the group, as we see on C hover, that effect is working. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make that aspects height of 7. So it will be aspects height going to be 7. Now these things, it will not work right now, but you can see how it actually working. Aspects width going to be 10, and we're gonna make it a block, width going to be full, and overflow should be hidden, and now rounded should be LG, and then BJ gray of 100, just to see if in any background available. Focus within the ring should be 2, and now focus within the ring should be till of 500, and then focus within the ring offset should be 2, and then focus within ring offset should be gray of 100. Okay, so that's it. Okay, pretty much cool. If we just shrink it down for the smaller screen, let's see if it's working or not. Okay, that looks perfect. Okay, now we have the image, so we're gonna have a few more things which going to be, now we can put that button, and that button should be type will be a button, and here we're gonna put that okay, this button actually not required because we will not keep anything to download or put something. Actually, what we need to do, we need to implement two more things. One the title, one is the 4 MB. So now I'm gonna put another I'll just get a p tag. Okay, and after that div, I'm gonna get a p tag. That p tag is gonna give us that file dot title. So I'll just copy that, and here it's gonna get that file dot size. Okay, both are appearing here. So what I'm gonna do is that put some class name that going to be minus top of 2, and again block, and I'm gonna make it as trunket. So the text, it will be SM, small text, font it would be medium, text gray of 900. Okay, that's cool. So I'll just get the same text and I'm gonna paste it here. And what's the difference it's going to be is that I'm gonna make it as 500. That's it. Okay, I think that's the simpler of that. And one more thing I don't want is that to give that margin top. Okay, cool. If we just go back to that particular small devices, okay, that's cool. So we have that. Now we need to get our one more thing is that our footer. So our hero image section is done. So now I'm gonna get another components. It will be footer.tsx rfce. So now this footer also going to be implemented in the layout. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make that footer. Okay, let's import that one also here. So that will be our footer. So now this footer going to be just a simple things. You see, footer is available. So first thing first, here in the footer, I'm gonna make this as a footer footer tag. Okay, so it will be our footer tag, and here I'm gonna just get some of the icons I require. So those are the icons I'm gonna use from that React icons. And also I will use that, I will use one navigation bar. So I will just create that one here. Okay, so this navigation bar is actually coming with that of the main home menu. So that will be in the top layer. You see, there's one in the top layer, that another is the bottom layer. So these both are coming from that navigation. One is the object, and one navigation object contain two special array, one of the main, and then one is for the social. I have the name, and href, you can be putting your href for your own account. Then icon should be the Facebook icon. So that's the 3 parameter I'm passing. Now here in the particular footer, so what actually we can implement is that we have the 3 portion. So it will be like first, middle, last. So it will be that middle and it will be the last one. So in the first, what actually we can implement is that before going to do all the things, we can just put a div, and within the div we're gonna put all over the things. So to get that, first we're gonna get one nav tag, because we're gonna inject every other things in the nav. So here we're gonna make that navigation dot main. Okay, so that parameter we'll take, and here we're gonna just map through it, and we're gonna give that as item name. Okay, so here we're gonna pass a div, and inside the div now you can put an h also, but you know, I love to put that link. Okay, and within that link I'm gonna pass that value. The value, it will be that item dot name, and that href, which is going to be item dot href. And for the key, which I'm gonna pass, is that okay, hold a bit, yeah, that key, it will be item dot name. And also I'm gonna make that as a class name, padding bottom up 6. Okay, let's see how actually that appearing. Okay, you see that things is now here, and from this position we will take this like that. Okay, so let's go again in the top layer on the footer. So put a class name, background, it will be white, border top, we're gonna give a top, and border t should be till of 100. So we can see a border. If I just put 600, you will see it properly. You see, that's the border. I will just put it 100. And for that particular div, put a class name, and again max width, you can put screen axle or you can put 7 axle, and both parameter mx auto. And overflow should be hidden, padding x-axis going to be 6, padding y going to be 20, and then sm padding y should be 10, and lg padding x going to be 8. You see, that's appearing here. So now in the nav, put a class name, and here we're gonna make that minus mb of 6, and columns, we will put the 2 columns. Sm should be flex, sm justify center, sm space x going to be 12. Okay, you see, that looks cool. And now what actually we can do, we can work on that link parameter. Put a class name, text going to be sm, and leading going to be 6, and also text going to be gray of 600, hover text going to be till of 600, duration going to be 200. Okay, as you see, okay, that looks cool, and that's the similar effect of here. So the one parameter is done. So it's time to generate the next parameter, which is in the middle section. So let's go in the div, and now here we're gonna navigate from that navigation dot social dot map item, and again we're gonna return, and we're gonna return again a link, and within that link we're gonna put that a span tag. Within that span tag, it's going to be item dot name. Oops, it will be item dot name, and that name should be provided a class name, which is going to be screen reader only. And then we're gonna pass a parameter of that item dot icon. What I did wrong here, yeah, that's the span tag, and here we are generating that icon. Okay, just let me give that key first, item dot name, and also give href, which going to be item dot href. So what we did wrong, item dot icon. Okay, what I will do is that I'm gonna just inject that one here. Okay, what's actually happened before, let me see that. It will be item dot icon? Yeah, it's for the null check. Yeah, so the class name, h height going to be 6, width going to be 6, and area hidden going to be true. Okay, so now we should be able to see the icon. Okay, icon is appearing in the div. Again, put some class name, flex, justify center, and space x going to be 10, and my should be 5. Okay, cool. Now you can put some design for the icon, or I will put that. So what I'm gonna do, class name text going to be gray of 400, and hover text going to be teal of 400. You see? Okay, cool. And also make a duration of 200. Now that's done. So the last parameter, I'm gonna just put a link tag, and within the link tag I'm gonna generate a p where actually I'm put that and pause, so it will be copy, and there it will make the 2024 it's going to be at reactbd.com, and I'm gonna make that as all rights reserved. And of course I need to put that href, which going to be indicating my website, and it will be https and /reactbd.com, and also I'm gonna target as a blank page. Okay, and for that p tag, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a class name which going to be text going to be center, and text going to be extra small, leading going to be 5, text gray of 500. Now if I click on the text, it will just take to my website. Okay, so this two portion is done, and if we just going to make that responsive, wow, that's cool, responsiveness is done. So now one more thing is that if we just go to the not found, you see, remember beforehand we created a not found design, so that's the simple design we will create. And now in the Next.js, if you want to create a not found page, what we need to do, need to go back to the app, and here need to open a new file which will be not/found.tsx rafce. Okay, now we can rename it, which will be not found page. Okay, that will be our simple not found page. And also whenever we are going to be a not found page, we want to show a metadata. I'll just reload with that. Okay, did we? Yeah, you see not found, but here you see the title is not changing, so I will just open that metadata. I'll just put my simple text parameter which I prepared beforehand. Okay, so now it will show not found detected, and also a little bit of description going to be implement. You see that things is working. So now here let's go with a simple and minimal design, and that first thing first, put a class name, and it will be I will just make it as grid. Min height should be full height, and also let me just give some class name one by one, then I'm gonna pouring things up. Or first thing first, I'm gonna make these things done. So I'm gonna put the div. In the div I'm gonna put the p tag should be 404, and then I'm gonna make that one h1 tag which will say page not found. Okay, so now if we go back here, you see the page not found 404 tag is available. So the height, it will be full, place item would be center, and also background should be white, and padding x is going to be 6, padding y should be 24, and sm padding y should be 32, and lg padding x going to be 8. Okay, now in that particular div, put a class name, text going to be center. So for that particular p tag, put a class name, and margin top going to be 4, text going to be 3 axle, and tracking should be tight, not tighter, tight, and text gray of 900, and then sm text of 5 axle. Okay, So that's the 404. And now we're gonna put that h1 tag class name. Oh no, sorry, this one should be appending for this. Yes, this. Okay, that is for that. And yeah, that's for that. So this one for that class name, which going to be text going to be Excel, and font going to be semi bold, and text till of 600. Yeah, that should be appearing for this text, otherwise for the others. You see the page not found. And here also we can do one more thing, is that font will make that as bold. So after that particular h1 tag, I'm gonna make a p tag which will say sorry, we, and I will just get the text here because there is the marking line here. So that will be the text sorry, which is saying we could not we could not find the page you are looking for, and put a class name, margin top going to be 6, text going to be base, and leading going to be 7, and then text gray of 600. Okay, so now after that particular p tag, I'm gonna generate a div which will take one link, and that link it will say go back home, and of course href will indicate to go to the home. Okay, so we need to import that also, import from the next. Now here in the home also we need to generate some class name. The class name it will be rounded, should be MD, and BG till will be 600 color, and padding in x-axis 3.5, padding in y should be 2.5, and text going to be SM, font going to be semi bold, and text going to be white, and shadow should be small shadow. And then hover BG should be till of 500, so not 50, 500, and focus within, or not within, should be focus visible. And whenever focus visible, outline should be okay, we'll put an outline, and then focus visible outline we're gonna put as 2. Okay, and then focus visible outline offset going to be 4, and focus visible outline till of 600. Okay, so that will take us to go back to our home page. So now as you see, okay, that's cool, working properly. So should be rounded. Okay, yeah, now we will take another link. Of course it should be link, and that one going to say as contact support. Okay, let's also keep that as capital S. And href for right now I'm gonna just put that as contact me. And here also for that button just keep a class name which is going to be text of small text, and font going to be semi bold, text gray of 900. Just simplify with that. As you see, both are appearing and appending same like that, but again I need to go in the top layer of the div, class name empty of 10, and text empty of 10. I will make it a flex. Yeah, flex item center and justify center, and gap in x-axis going to be 6. Okay, as you see, that looks perfect. If we go back to the home, we are in the home. If we go back to another page to visit where actually don't have any pages, we can go back to home. And also that not found pages, if we just see, is totally responsive. So now as you see, that full website what we have been created till now is actually fully responsive. So what's my plan is that not only to stop here, but also as you see, that ratio is not matching, you know, this one is bigger and other one is getting smaller. So for that one, what we can do, we can use that tailwind aspect ratio. So that's one of that plugins we can use. So we will just make that npm I Tailwind aspect ratio. If you just go back to the npm, and here you can learn a lot more about how that things actually work. It will just go and maximize the ratio with that proper scenario where actually we can use. So feel free to go and read the documentation. And after installing, how actually we can use, we will just make that go with that oops, it's not here, it will be tailwind config.ts. That things not require, so in the plugins I will use that require flag. Okay, so that require flag, and here I'm gonna just paste that. So now you see my images is already cramped and sized properly. Okay, so okay, that things is working fine. So now this is for today's build. Next day maybe we're gonna build something like that, but what I actually want to get that code, whatever we have written, so that you can start in your home, like you can start with that global layer. And how actually I can share that with you, I'll go with my github.com, and there is a lot of project here. Feel free to go and use those projects in your own build, and then it can really be helpful for you. So I will take a new repo here. So it will be Tailwind CSS YT. Okay, it will be Tailwind CSS YT, and I will keep it as public. And to get the things done, I will just do one thing here. I will initialize my git. So git init and git at dot git commit, which going to be the message initial commit, and then I need to I will just run some of the command from here, which going to be give me the branch of creating as the main branch. Then I will get that one here, so it will link the branch over here. And after that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just push all the code here in my git repo. So don't worry, the repo link, it will be in the description below. And of course, if this video is helping you, and if you're liking to coming some of the more things coming like that video, don't forget to like the button, hit the like button, and subscribe my channel, because lot more things like that is coming in future. So this the code, the link, it will be in the description to follow up through all the course applicable for you. Okay, so till then, stay good, and I'm gonna see you in next video. Thank you.